I'm here today with Professor Ha-Joon Chang from Cambridge University to discuss his new book, 23 Things They Don't Tell You About Capitalism. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So, there are 23 things.
Right, yeah.
But as I read your book, the first and foremost is there is no separating politics and economics.
That's right.
There is a market, and the market depends upon customs and the state and many other things. Please explain.
Exactly, yeah. No, I mean, I put it deliberately in a provocative way and say that there is no such thing as a free market. So a lot of people, when they read that, say, well, I mean, you may or may not like free market, but you know what is a free market. I mean, you know at least when you see one, if not being able to theoretically define it. But actually, all markets are propped up by a range of regulations on who can participate, what can be bought and sold, how the exchange is going to be conducted. So, for example, you supposedly have a free labor market in America, but you ban child labor. You cannot hire slaves. And there are all sorts of regulations on how many hours people can work and so on. And I mean, all these things have been developed over the years through court rulings and political struggle and institutional reform. So we don't think American labor market is very heavily regulated only because we accept the existing regulations so much that we don't actually see them.
We're not conscious.
Exactly, yeah. So in that sense, the standard assertion by free market economists that market boundaries are scientifically defined, any attempt to kind of meddle with it is wrong, is completely misleading because what they see as the correct boundary of the market is as politically motivated or as politically motivated as anyone else is. So it's not like, you have this pure scientific position called free market economics and all the other people who want to use the government to regulate and control things are the people who don't know anything about economics, people who are motivated by the political things.
Most people, when you buy something, believe you should be able to call the police if somebody wants to take it and not pay for it.
Exactly. Yeah,
that's a regulation.
Yeah,
so
actually, the one interesting personal experience was when I first went to Britain as a young graduate student back in the 1980s. Korea was a fairly poor country, and probably except in the most exclusive department stores, when you bought something, you just couldn't return it, even if there was the change of your mind, unless it was grossly faulty. The shop owners will say, no, we are not doing that. Today is normal, but at the time it was quite exceptional. So when I first arrived in Britain, I was very shocked that you could actually buy something and then go back to the shop and say, I've changed my mind. Even things like that, that we take for granted. But actually,
I don't know how my wife or daughter would shop if they couldn't take back clothes that didn't fit or didn't look right.
Yeah. Yeah. So fundamentally, the point I try to make with this rather kind of outrageous sounding proposition is to tell people that this myth of market objectivity, i.e. market is something that can be scientifically defined and you shouldn't touch it with politics, is fundamentally misleading.